Hello everyone, I'm Salad and welcome back to Danganronpa 3. We are going to be finishing up the entire series today, and that's exciting because it means that we're done, as far as I know, with all of the Danganronpa content. Now there is more content from this same studio. I think there's a game called Rain Code, and from what I'm gathering from this series, it doesn't seem like Danganronpa itself is done either, because there's still so many things that are unexplained, and I don't think that we are going to get all the answers in these next few episodes to all the plot points that have been brought up. So I still feel and hope that we get more Danganronpa content in the future. We probably will, and you can look forward to whenever that exists, seeing that on my channel. I'll be either watching and reacting to it, or I'll be playing it. So yeah, you can rely on me to be there for that, because I've been enjoying Danganronpa all the way through. But for now, we still got a few more episodes to go here. Last time, Junko found Meteor Eye, and we already know what she's going to be doing with that. She's going to try to have him create, well, she's going to succeed in having him create a video to induce despair into everybody. So I don't know where this is all going. This is obviously telling us a lot of the backstory, but we already kind of knew a lot of this backstory, so I'm not sure what new information we're going to get from this. I suppose we'll see. Another thing that I did learn recently is that apparently both the Future arc and the Despair arc aired concurrently, and you were supposed to watch both at once, like one episode of one and then one episode of the other, which is odd. I never would have thought that that was a thing, but apparently that's a thing. Obviously that's not the way that I watched it, but hopefully that's still okay. And yeah, I think that's all there is to say. So let's get started with this 7th episode, I believe, and let's just see what's happening. So let's go. Yeah, Junko's very enthusiastic.
あれおかしいな。私ってアニメなんかに興味ないんだけどな。
Huh?
アニメなんか。
You are anime.
はい。アニメは立派な文化なんだ。でた。あふれれて顔真っ赤なアニオタやつ。僕のアニメを見たらそんなことは言えなくなるぞ。
So, did she say that she doesn't like anime just to get that kind of reaction at him? Because I know a good way to get people to give their opinions, or is just to say something that you know is wrong, and then people will come in to correct you, right? That happens a lot on social media. They'll just say something dumb, and then everybody will come in and actually give their opinions to tell them why what they're going to say is right. So, is she trying to use that kind of manipulation on him?
それ見せてよ。
Watching the anime now.
どうかな。まだ未完成で半分くらい繊細なんだけど。
She sees the power of anime now.
こんなの見せられちゃったらもう他のアニメじゃ満足できないじゃない。私が今まで見てきたアニメを何だったの？もう他のアニメなんていらないわね。
But he doesn't have the power of God in anime on his side. He has the power of despair in anime on his side now.
僕のコレクション。何この土品に変態女もあんたのアニメに感動してるのよ。
I shouldn't be surprised that these people are this weird. It hypnotizes you.
全部だよ。全部？色彩の変化による視覚中枢への刺激、眼球の動きの誘導による体験記憶の認知操作、音声の集中力のコントロール。
Speaking of which,
使える技術は全部使ってる。
there's some camera techniques there too.
火薬と一緒だよ。使う人によっては花火にも爆弾にもなるでしょ。うっさい。
奇遇ね。
Should not have let these people into your house.
も世界を良くしたいと思ってたのよ。
Oh my goodness. Oh! Alright. Back with the Danganronpa 2 crew again.
なんだいクマだよ
かわいいですね。
な近づくと危ないっすよ
お前だお兄の一時だけど。死んでないから計画なだけだから。
He's not dead.
連絡がつかないんじゃったな
He's very durable.
何してんだろうな。
He mutilates and cuts himself and does all sorts of stuff, and yet he's still alive. So, plane crash? Is this Nagito? What is this Hisoka action we're getting here?
遭難した砂漠でこんな場所を見つけられるなんて僕って本当に運がいいな
Okay. What are you doing here? And you're not Hisoka. What are you trying to do with that angle?
みかんちゃんならりょうたちゃんとどっか行っみたらしさんが消えた。
あまり大きな声を出すな
Okay, this is the imposter in Mikan, right?
しばらく作業に集中したいと部屋に書き置きを見つけてなそれっきりだ
私も部屋を見に行ってみますね。
Again, everyone's still normal. They're not despairs yet. Oh, but now even more of them are encountering Junko and Mukuro.
どうしたの？
So their transformation should be close at
何
hand.
かどころじゃねえよ部下が20人以上失踪した
宗像くんのためなら死ねるって。
And she will die from Munakata. That's what's gonna happen in the future.
指示を持ち込むんじゃねえよ
もしかして嫉妬？
まあな何マジになってんだよ冗談だ
え？びっくりさせないでよ。もう。
I forget. Did he He survives though, right? I forget if he survives or not. No, he doesn't. He dies at the very end, right? So both of them die in the and then the future arc. I was gonna say like, oh well, in the end he wins because he lives to the end, but no, he doesn't. He dies right at the end.
どう？翼授かってる？
ああ人も来ないし機材も最高性じゃ
この子知り合い？
So
鈴木さん
he knows now that they are these kinds of people who are gonna capture other people and tie them up and like what's his reaction gonna be to this? Is it gonna be
なんだ。やっぱり
indifferent?
知り合いなのね。
Or is he gonna want to help her?
ご無事だったんですね。あ、
ここでアニメを作ってて
What are you planning, Junko? Wants to use her for something?
私こういうの弱いんです。会えてよかったですね。みんなで見ましょう。失われた青春は取り戻すのよ。
Okay, so she wants to show the anime to Mikan. What, to get her on her side? Get her on board with the whole project that's going on?
この時純子ちゃんは超分析力。
Okay, so this is what she looks like when she's using her super analysis. Sure.
分析できる。それは純子ちゃんの真骨頂。お姉ちゃん息臭。なるほどね。あれ、今なんて。
Okay, so did she want to watch that happening? It brainwashing another person in order to get clues about how it actually works? So that she can recreate the same effect but different? I'm assuming that's the case.
いけない。どうぞ同じか。つうかマジで息臭すぎ。殺し。じゃあ、いただきさん。あとはこれマウスパッドにするなり抱き枕にするなり。じゃあ。
Okay then. But what is Mikan actually gonna do there? And I guess in the end, Mirai is not phased at all by the fact that, and neither is Mikan, by the fact that she was kidnapped and brought there. Okay then. The real question is she gonna be used as a hug pillow or not? It seems to be her favorite thing, so. Izuru is still in the same place, huh?
鎌倉先輩に見てもらいたくて、そのために私、準備で大忙しであんまり寝れなくて。
Her most precious thing.
何言ってんの？俺と先輩に本を見せてあげたいじゃない。ここで絶望の素晴らしさを見せてあげる。
I like how she just randomly attacks people in the middle of all of her sentences. She just enjoys just attacking people that she knows can win. Izuru looking serious as ever. Okay, this is a bunch of people we've never seen before. Are these the reserve corps students?
あんなものを送りつけて脅しのつもりか。
あの映像、本物なの？こんな夜中にありえない。なんで僕たちが。
Wait, that person right here, do we with like the hoodie?
で僕たちが。
Is she one of the Future Foundation members? Do we know her?
生徒会の皆さん。
I don't remember.
今からあなたたちには殺し合いをしてもらいます。はあ？何言ってんのよあんた。頭おかしいんじゃないの？
飲まれんな。我々生徒会がここで動揺したら、こいつらの思うつぼ
だ。あなたたちの選べる選択肢は2つ。私の言う通りに殺し合うか、私に殺されるか。
Yep. The usual death game stuff. So, oh, okay, so I understand what's happening here. This is the room filled with dead bodies that you find in Danganronpa 1. And that, I think in Danganronpa 0, they say that Izuru was behind it. But really, it's Junko and Izuru working together. I think that's what this is.
それは。
いろんな意味で激重。ダメ押しの動機の塊。これどうしちゃおうか。
So she just delivered a whole bunch of motive videos and a bunch of weapons, and told them to go kill each other. Council Karen Kirasagi's secret.
希望が峰学園の象徴。生徒会同士の殺し合い。
Okay, so that's the student council.
じゃあ、はい。翼をください。3、はい。
She mentioned that before. I thought I thought when she delivered like some Red Bull to Mirai, she was making some sort of joke about how their catchphrase is Red Bull gives you wings or something, right? That was it's been a while since I've seen that kind of commercial. But she wrote a song or something? Did she write a song with some of the techniques that she learned to try to reproduce the effect? To force these people into fighting each other? See, what's wrong with that? Oh. Although we know that both Junko and Mukuro are very capable fighters, so they probably would all just get slaughtered by Junko and Mukuro if they tried to escape. That really is the main issue. gonna attack everyone with a frying pan?
大丈夫だ
Yep.
希望は予定調和正しい心で光に向かってそれ一辺と絶望は希望の対極の存在
Okay, why is Mukuro still singing that? It doesn't seem to be related to anything, at least not yet.
ドロドロでぐちゃぐちゃで愛も憎悪も
This is still, of course, it's all Danganronpa, right? So none of it's ever gonna be. You can't say, oh, it's not realistic, because it's in Danganronpa nothing's ever been realistic, but it's just always. Whenever it's situations like these, I always wonder, why don't you just try to escape? Sure, I know that Junko and Mukuro are too strong for them to actually escape, but why don't they go with what that guy said and take the guns and just try their best to fight till the end? Even with the motivations that they've been given, I don't think that realistically I don't think that would make any sense. But it's Danganronpa after all, as I said.
僕たちはあんなひどい連中に付き合う必要はない
私たちは綺麗に終わりましょう自分でもどこに向かうのかわからないのが絶望だからなんでさ黙れよ
That, what's the point of that? Why? Why not just let them kill each other? It's okay. Okay, very unnecessary, but all right. Okay, it's not a very quiet weapon.
あんたでも予想がつかないのが絶望だから予想のつかない絶望だけがあんたをつまらない未来から救ってくる
Okay, but is despair really that unpredictable? That's been the whole premise, right, behind Junko's seeking of despair and what she told to Izuru Kamakura was the fact that everything is predictable, everything is the same, but by causing chaos, then I can't predict everything. But it's chaos that she can't predict. It's not the despair itself. But I guess she is arguing that that chaos is despair and harmony is hope. But really, instead of saying hope and despair, it should be just chaos and harmony. That would make more sense. But I still feel like in a situation like this, Junko could see the ending. Junko could see who it is. If she's really that smart, she would know who is the one who's going to survive all of this. And same with Izuru. So is it really that unpredictable? An outcome like this? I mean, they put all this into motion. They put in all the pieces, gave them all the weapons, gave them all the motivations. I don't see how it's that unpredictable what would happen. Yeah, why is he here? Interfering with the experiment. Okay. So you gave all these people reason to kill each other, watch them all kill each other, and then in the end you kill them. In the end, the outcome was already predetermined, really. Okay, wait. Maybe not. Was that an outcome you didn't predict? Okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it did lead to an outcome he didn't predict. He actually ended up getting slightly defeated in a way, which is probably new for him.
どう興奮したでもこんなもんじゃないよ絶望の素晴らしさはこれからもっと退屈しないよ
I like the light on her eye, reminiscent of the Monokuma's eye thing.
はいもしもし
Kizakura, that was one of the people who was in that killing game that just died.
クレムでも生徒たち
Oh, never mind. Or was it? Wait, I thought that was the same last name as one of the girls in the killing game we just watched. Is that the daughter of this guy?
させられないようにね話はまだ終わっていません
Well, actually, I don't know if he even has a daughter. Actually, I know he had like a person that he liked in the past named Kyoko, but I don't know. Maybe I think I'm just mixing things up. Don't mind me.
上はこの剣を完全にもみ消すつもり
He
です
probably didn't have any daughters or anything.
だが学園のことを思うならそれが最善の策でもあるですがただでさえ鎌倉プロジェクトは非人道的な行いだこの事件が公になれば
Alright,
希望が見ねが
and this is where they decide to sweep it under the rug.
学園存続のためには隠蔽以外の道はない
Well, maybe the school shouldn't continue.
私はすでに引退
Kyoko.
もし俺に何かあったときは娘を仕方ねえなもらってやる
No, don't say that. Why would he say that? Why would he say that? I know he knows a Kyoko back in his past or whatever, but why would he even joke about that? But he does meet Kyoko in the future and helps her out, I guess.
やるわけないだろ
Very, very strange. What is that?
希望が峰学園の腐りきった実態を他でもない被害者の皆さんに告発します
It's one way to
希
press
望が
enter.
峰学園は秘密裏に人体実験を行っています
Okay. And by the victims themselves, she probably means the family of the
その
people.
費用はあなたたち予備学科生の学費学園はこの事件を隠蔽することを決めました
So that's a lot of unfounded claims for her to spout out to all these people, but the fact that she's getting this all out early does lend credibility to what she's saying. But I would think that the people who hear this would think that she is the one behind this, not whatever this crazy story is. Because if somebody's saying all this stuff and none of it's been made public yet, I feel like she would be the person who sent the messages would be the prime suspect.
全ては己の
They wouldn't just believe the random words that
実
they're
験の
saying.
失敗をひた隠すためパレードの始まりよ
The parade, huh?
何が希望の学園だ
私たちは金づるじゃないわよ
女のさんだらか
And so basically, Junko is using the existence of Hope Speak Academy as a symbol of hope in order to create despair, showing that hope is actually terrible. But more realistically, it's the school itself that's terrible.
積み木も
All right, so Mikan's still helping
ひなた
Midori. Yeah, and where is Hajime at? Well, we know where he's at. Alright, so that was episode 7, and the killing has begun, but It's not a big surprise because we already knew that was going to happen. Junko and Mukuro are there. We were aware of these events already. It just we're now seeing them animated. The stuff with Midori, obviously that still hasn't come to a conclusion yet. We've got Junko being very happy about finding him, understanding the power behind all of it, analyzing it, but she hasn't, as far as we know, pushed him in the direction of creating something for despair yet. She's kind of just letting him continue to work and perfect his craft. I'm also not sure what the significance is of Mikan being brought into this and helping out Midori. Not sure what the meaning of that is. I don't know what that does for the plot. Her being there, like, I don't know how her skills would be helpful. Well, I guess maybe she could keep him in good shape while he's working, because he's always having health problems by continuing to work on this without rest, without eating, that kind of stuff. In that sense, Mikan could be very helpful. And also be used as a plushie to hug when he's trying to go to bed. You know, that's also very helpful. That's the only thing I could think of. Otherwise, I'm not sure why she's there and why Junko decided to bring her there. Other than maybe, well, I understand why she was brought there is because she was suspicious and she was hiding she was going to meet Midori, and that's why she was brought there. But maybe that's it. Maybe that's the whole reason, is that she was brought there just because she decided to check in on Midori, and anyone who does needs to be contained and stuff like that. Maybe that's the whole reason for it. But I was just wondering about the narrative purpose. And as I said, I really do love Junko. The scenes with Junko trying uselessly to smack Izuru with the baseball bat. It's so funny. But it's funny and cute and endearing, even though she's a horrible person. And I just like that part of her character in this show quite a lot. And then of course we have the student council here, and this one character who looks very distinctive compared to the rest, the one with the hoodie and the different colored eyes. She kind of gives me the same vibes as the person who gives people sweets in the future arc, that person. But she's not that person, right? So I don't know who this is. I feel like I should know them for some reason, but I don't. And also they're dead now. They were one of the people who got killed. So maybe I don't know them. Maybe they're related to somebody that we know. Not sure. But we have this whole killing game, and I'm glad that it all finishes up in one episode. I don't think it would have made any sense to drag this thing out. But it was cool to see where the killing game started. This is basically the first killing game that Junko ever put on, as far as we know. Actually, who knows? She could have done this before. And we've got one guy who's trying to take the lead and make sure nobody kills each other, which does not work at all. Again, though, the thing that doesn't make much sense to me is this kid who gets stabbed. He gets the weapon. He wants us everyone to go out and fight. I think if the guy who was trying to lead the whole group, if he had just suggested that from the very beginning and had everyone go and fight, that probably would have been a better outcome than having them all just try to kill each other. But I guess they probably tried initially. Most likely they tried initially to fight back and it failed. And that's why they're in the situation that they're in. I would guess that that's the case. And also they were threatened, right? They were threatened in some way to come here in the first place. Maybe that's part of the reason why they're not fighting back, but still, I feel like if students were really put in this kind of situation, what they would really try to do is just fight back. They wouldn't just immediately go to killing each other like this. But it is what it is. And I was saying this whole time about, well, first of all, we have this scene. I still don't get, there must be some sort of rules that Junko put in place that you have to be the one that does the killing or something. But I still don't really understand why why this was interrupted? Why did they interrupt these two from killing each other in like I guess a more peaceful manner or something that's on their terms? I don't understand, but whatever. It is what it is. That's what happened. And everyone basically gets killed in as horrible a way as possible, which is interesting. And then of course we have the scene with Izuru Kamakura. I So the whole deal with everything that happened here was that this created chaos, and that chaos is something that neither Junko nor Izuru can fully comprehend and can fully predict. But in this situation, I don't see how that really came to pass. He fought some guy, the guy was enraged and crazy. He beat the guy up and won. And yet he miscalculated, I guess, in the durability that he had, and in the insanity that he had, and the will to live that he had, maybe, and didn't expect him to be able to fire a shot back afterwards. I still feel like he should, if these people are as impossibly smart as they are, he should have realized that what he did with his attack wasn't enough to incapacitate his opponent or to kill his opponent. But it is what it is. I guess it just wasn't, and I guess he just couldn't figure it out. But that's where we see Izuru finally seeing the magic of despair, finally seeing Junko's vision, and seeing what a beautiful thing chaos can be for somebody who knows all the answers. And then we have this scene with the old guy speaking to the headmaster of Hope's Peak, Kyoko's father. And he's still not part of the remnants of despair or anything yet at this point. At least I don't think so. So I'm wondering why he wants. So it's just his normal opinion that he just wants to cover this up. Has nothing to do with despair at all. That's just the kind of person he is, that he just wants to sweep it all under the rug. That's what that's what I'm figuring, because I still don't think that I still don't feel like anybody is under the influence of Junko completely, except for maybe Midori and of course Izuru. And then this part with sending the messages to everybody. I already spoke about that, about how it's not the finishing blow to Hope's Peak Academy or anything, and it probably shouldn't even be taken that seriously by most people, but that's how social media works, right? Usually the first, the biggest, the loudest voice, and usually the earliest voices, the first voice to get their opinion out there, that's what ends up spreading. So it makes sense. It makes sense why this is all happening and why people are protesting and everything's going horribly. So that's all the thoughts I have on that episode. Things are obviously getting crazy. People are dying. So let's see how that continues in episode 8. So we got puzzle pieces and a bunch of Monokuma head people at the Last Supper, huh? Okay. That's obviously some imagery, but I don't know what that's trying to say. Is it trying to say that everybody is we're trying to have the Last Supper for despair or something? I don't know what's going on here. But also, the design for the Monokumas. The Monokumas were made in the island from Danganronpa Ultra Despair Girls, right? I'm pretty sure Monokumas as a thing don't actually exist yet at this point in time, except it's just a concept in Junko's head. I'm assuming that's what this is, just something she drew herself.
そんなに明るくて楽しいクラスなんだ。はい。雪染先生はすごくいい人ですし。
Okay, so why? I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Mikon is easily being manipulated. She is a very easily manipulated person. Wait, I want to take a closer look at all these photos. Hold on. A lot of interesting things happening here. Okay, class rep inauguration party. Okay, so this is a party for Chiaki becoming the class representative. All right, and then we have them at some sort of party with everybody passed out for the most part. Okay. And Chiaki playing the triangle. Very nice. We've got some sort of fair or school festival. Chiaki's using the shooting a gun. Okay. They're eating candied apples. Okay, and we got the beach episode. And of course, Mikan's being attacked by an octopus. And people are being buried in sand. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I had a good look at all those. Those seemed interesting. Yeah. Okay, I figured that's what she would do. Because she doesn't like things being completed. She doesn't like everything going according to plan. She likes the chaos. I knew she was gonna do that. See it all get ruined. Okay, that's an interesting intro to the episode. Okay, we're watching the events that just happened with the killing game on a screen. So is she gonna take the footage from this and turn that into the anime? Is that her idea? Is she gonna try to convert that somehow? So the thing is, the Azuro Kamakura project, it was not the cause of this. The cause of this still is ultimately Junko and Mukuro. Izuru had a hand in what happened, but not a very big one. Although it was all done for the sake of convincing him. But it technically isn't totally their fault yet. Okay. Okay. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'm glad that he's actually thinking and actually suspecting Junko and not just brushing everything out that she's doing off. Because that's what I was worried. I was worried that he was just gonna be like, oh, Junko, she's just silly. She's kidnapping people. I don't need to worry about it. That would have made no sense. I'm glad he's at least questioning it a little bit, but it seems like his priorities are still just to complete his anime, and that's it. Oh, is that the file with the... Okay, I see. So she left that on his computer for him to watch? Of the video of what happened? Okay, that's... I understand, but that is quite an extreme reaction. Okay, yeah, Mika is totally insane now. Yeah, Mikon did not take much convincing, but again, it doesn't surprise me. Mikon's never really been stable. Okay, no idea what she said. But I'm assuming despair is what she said. Actually, so I guess I do have an idea what she said, but who knows? Hold on. That's a really weird setup there for this this school. Like, what is with? Hold on, I'm trying to pause at the right time. What is it with this ramp? I don't know how well it's gonna show up on the recording with all the stuff I'm. Actually, can I just? That's something I can turn off. Here we go. Now you can see clearly for a moment. So for this ramp, okay, it's a ramp with lights on the side. Cool. But what is with the side areas? Like, what is with the parts with the stairs on the right and the left of the ramp? They don't go to anything. They don't do anything. What's the purpose of that, huh? What's the purpose of those stairs to nowhere? Because that last part at the end, you can't climb up that, surely. I mean, maybe you could. That's just a weird design. I don't know. Anyway, I'll turn back on the destruction filter and let's continue on.
など存在しない。だからあれはパレードだ。
なんだよそれ。どんな理屈だ。
Yeah, I remember this. I remember they were calling it a parade in Danganronpa 0 as well. It's been a long time since I actually read Danganronpa 0. Well over a year, I think, at this point. Maybe even longer than that. But I remember them referring to the protests as a parade then, too.
私の意見ではない。教師が。
It's weird seeing,
寮の部屋には。
I forget what her name was, but seeing her in her like, grown form like that.
残ってたよ。心配ですね。昼間は外に出ないようにね。本当に大丈夫なの
Don't go outside during the day? I would think you would say don't go outside during the night, but okay.
警備部に任せるしかないだろうな。
Yes, the protests are only during the day?
日向くん、デモに巻き込まれてたりし。それとも。そんなことですか。やった私が留守だからって下がってんじゃないわよ。
I don't know. I'm not sure why Mikan is this way. Is the way that she is. That's never been explained, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be explained. Did you want people to get mad at her? I mean, I guess this is typical. She's not the only Danganronpa character that's like this, but why? I mean, Mukuro is kind of that way too.
鈴木さんがおかしくなったのはやっぱり君が。
では、本プロジェクトについてプレゼンテーションをさせていただきます。
Great entrance, okay.
お察しの通り、積木さんがあんなになってしまった原因は、御手洗君も見た殺し合いビデオ。
Just from watching that,
しかしこれ
I don't think that makes sense.
私の目的を達成するには至りませんでした。洗脳技術の不足が原因です。そこで
Okay, now she's recruiting him to that. Okay, but that doesn't explain why she is that way. Just from watching that video, I understand. Seeing a bunch of people kill each other would be traumatic, but those kinds of videos exist on the internet right now. People watch them. Might get a little messed up from it, but they're not going to turn into what she just turned into. They might have mental health problems from it, but not to the extent that she's got them right there. At least I don't think so. You can go on to the can go onto Reddit and see combat footage of like what's happening in various wars that are going on around the world. I guess that's different from people who know each other killing each other in a confined space in the same way that video is. Like that's a war in the sense that's a little bit different, but still, I don't know why she would become that deranged from watching that. I would think that she would be really upset and be crying and be sad, but I wouldn't think it would affect her in that kind of way. But sure, we'll roll with it. Because then again, what do I know about psychology? Nothing. So I'm not an expert. Okay, but how is she gonna get him to agree to this? Just by force? It's basically the opposite of what he wants to do. And that's gonna happen anyways. Although it's not really gonna be chosen by her, it's gonna be chosen by Makoto and friends, and she's gonna make that happen.
やっぱり
But that's the leverage she's using,
ど
huh?
こにもいなかったね。
ステー使って実家にも追い込みかけたんだけど。ただいま。
It just shows up like that, like nothing strange. I love it.
空気読め。
誰？
おかえり小林
Yeah,
君。
who are you exactly?
でも再会を喜ぶ感じじゃないんだ。積み木さんが行く。
こんなキャラだったっけ？いや、ごめん。ちょっと興奮しちゃって。
he broke character for a bit.
迎えに行ってみる？
うん。どうしてクラスに来ないのか、積み木さんに確かめないと。
だな。
Well, that's good, but they are walking into a trap. Still, I feel like, since they're ultimates, I feel like all of them together should be able to maybe defeat Junko, but maybe not Junko and Mukuro at once. I don't know. It's hard to say. Junko and Mukuro, they're not all powerful. They're not undefeatable.
なんだ？
Surely they should be able to defeat them
話が。
like somehow. But I just don't. Obviously, that's not going to happen though.
おはようございます。
And nobody there. Nobody there. No one to teach. Oh, at least I'm glad they at least
危ないから外に
let her know,
言
but
ったのに。
that's probably going to get her involved in the trouble too. So, however, I remember in my in the previous season, well, in the future season, I thought that she was behind the brainwashing of the reserve corps students. I thought that Yukizome was the culprit because of the fact that I knew she was in on the whole plan on what was happening in the future arc. But it seems that that's not the case. It seems that she didn't have anything to do with that, at least so far, and she's just gonna become a despair at some points here. Although maybe there's still time for that. Maybe there's still time for that to be a thing. Because we still haven't had the part where she ends up killing a bunch of kids, so that obviously that still happens when she is a teacher.
それによって手伝うぞ。
わかんないけどキモいよ。
I'm not sure just calling out her name randomly will work, but I guess they don't have a better option.
もしかしたら食堂にいるんじゃない。
I mean, they already have the knowledge that they already had that note, right, from Mikan that she was helping out Mitarai. So that's their clue. Surely they should just go to his place.
のため食堂も見に行ってみるかの？
Although I guess they don't know, they think they have Mitarai with them, so maybe they figured he would say if he knew where she was.
あれ？
あ、ちょっと。
こんなところに銅像があるんだね。
Yeah, lucky student, huh? Lucky student power just so happens to touch the right spot.
本当に運がいいね。
His power is too much.
出たんじゃないの？
まさかただの運偶然だよ。例えば人体実験とかさ。
Okay, but why would you put the entrance in such a public place that anyone could see you opening it and going in? That doesn't make any sense. There has to be more entrances than that. So it'd have to be like an exit.
ここって。
Oh, you found Mitarai.
見たら行く。
Yeah.
進行どうですか？
いやお邪魔してるよ。
Did Junko not expect them to be here?
つうか、なんで外野がここをどうでもいいけど。
Junko should be pretty fond of him because his luck defies any logic, right? So it's something that she shouldn't be able to really predict.
どうせ他人にここのことを言いふらすのは不可能だし。
戦場ムクロさんの助太刀を期待しているなら無駄だよ。
Okay, so Nagito is already well informed.
だからまで知ってんの？
Okay, that's why he wanted to talk earlier with the ultimate swordswoman or
先輩
whatever her name was.
たまたまだよあんた人を殺したことあるでしょお前こそ
Okay, so yeah, they are, at the very least, some of the people in our group, or in the Danganronpa 2 group, can stand up to them.
お姉ちゃんは足止め済みなんだ何この絶望が止められると思ってんのあ小前田君
Yeah, it's great. How are you gonna stop the despair? With a gun? Yeah, that'll do it. I mean, that honestly would do it. You just shoot Junko right now, easy, we're done. End of the series.
偶然拾ったんだよねお土産のつもりだったんだけど
That's
待って
that's no.
いくらなんでも人を殺すなんて
Wait, so Chiaki is great, and Chiaki was the only person in Danganronpa 2 who wasn't one of the remnants of despair. Is Chiaki the one who allows all this despair to happen?
それは違うよいいちゃん言ったでしょこれは希望のためなんだこの踏み台としてふさわしくないからねそう君はみんなの希望を
Okay,
輝かせ
no, he is
絶対的な絶望でなくちゃいけないんだ
okay. Never mind. Okay, so it is Nagito is still just as crazy. He does actually want her to be ultimate despair, so that we can have even more ultimate hope. Okay then, never
希
mind.
望が大好きなのね
So he's gonna be unable to kill her just because.
君が僕なんかに倒されることなく玉詰まり
Oh, that's not right.
幸運
Not luck for him.
僕も持っていますから
Okay then. Did Nagito just find his one true love? The most ultimate of
小
hopes?
前田君しっかりして小前田君小前田君大丈夫
But that's surprising. Okay, so I didn't actually think that Izuru Kamakura also got the ultimate hope. I knew he got a lot of ultimates, but hope? I mean, sorry, not hope. Luck? Luck as well? How did they possibly program that into him? But, man. In the end, I think his luck is still slightly better, maybe?
小前田君
運がいいですね
さすがすごい
So yeah, so now here is where the the true problem of Zuru Kamakura is coming into play, where he's actually doing something which, by stopping Nagito right there, he really did cause all sorts of havoc.
積木さんみんな本当に一体どこに行っちゃった
Oh well,
ごめんなさい大丈夫
Mitarai actually managed to run out.
見たらいく痩せた
助けてくださいナナミさんが
見せてね
僕のアニメを
No, don't say that. He's gonna show you the anime. It's gonna be the wrong anime.
どこに行けばいいの
My guess is the anime that she wanted to make is already complete.
私の才能は超高校級の数
Oh, and it ends right there. Oh, no, we are getting it after credits. Okay.
ひなたくんでしょ
Oh, she recognizes him. Okay. I didn't think she'd recognize that was Hajime. Interesting. Well, we know that she's not. Again, it's always a bit odd with prequel series, because we already know what's gonna happen. We already know that she's not going to be able to convince Izuru Kamakura to stop what he's doing, to stop defending Junko. No one's going to be able to stop Junko. No one's going to be able to stop Mukuro. We know that the enemy is going to get created. We already know all the answers, right? So there's not much for me to speculate at this point, now that we're reaching the end, about what's going to happen, because we already know what's going to happen. The only thing the only thing is, how is it going to happen? But at this point in the series, now that we're at episode 8, the how of it is already laid out. The how of it is already laid out. We already see what's going on with Junko manipulating Mirai in order to have him work for her. We already see that she's manipulating Izuru to want to create despair, to cause chaos, so that things aren't boring. We already see all the pieces coming into play. And now she's just going to throw all the pieces into the air, as she did at the very beginning here. Now, the thing about all these people protesting, my question is, why are they protesting? Because if there is a murder, there's going to be a murder investigation by the police. Are the police just not doing anything? Are the police not looking into this? Is that why they're protesting? Because I would think that, okay, Hope Peak Academy wants to cover this all up. That doesn't matter. Once an accusation has gotten out that all these people are dead and these families have never seen their children anymore, there's going to be an investigation. So I'm assuming that the Hope Peak Academy doesn't have is not able to stop something like that from happening. Are they? Are they able to stop the process of the court of law? Are they able to stop the police from investigating it all? That would make no sense. But maybe that's what's going on here, and that's why the protests are happening. But if that was happening, I would think they would be protesting in front of government buildings, because they're the ones that are actually supposed to be enforcing the law, not the Hope Peak Academy itself. Again, I'm glad we got to know a bit of the power scaling of Mukuro and Junko here. I feel like that's really important, because we've never really seen... I mean, in Danganronpa 0, I know Mukuro fights, and I think Junko fights as well, but this is the first time seeing it actually animated and things like that. It's hard to get a read on exactly how unbeatable Junko and Mukuro are, or how unbeatable Izuru is, like how strong all these people are, and then also just the regular ultimates. And here we see that Mukuro and the ultimate swordswoman, whose name I once again have forgotten, they're on a similar level. They're sort of at a standstill when fighting each other here. And I'm glad to see that. That means that they're not unbeatable. That as long as Izuru was, if Izuru was not in the way, then we would have enough forces to deal with all of that. And also, knowing how powerful Izuru is, that gives context to the future arc, where in the future arc we saw a bunch of Future Foundation boats, warships, heading to Jabberwock Island. But at that time I thought, okay, there's no way that the ultimates on Jabberwock Island, the remnants of despair, are going to be able to stop a bunch of armies like this. That's not happening. They're not stopping. They're not stopping a whole bunch of warships filled with people and weapons. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. It doesn't. There's not enough people. But now that I've seen how overpowered Izuru is, and including the fact that he has ultimate luck, I'm actually starting to believe in their chances. I'm starting to believe in their chances a bit now. So I actually think that they're probably going to win that fight, which is crazy. So again, it's another reason why getting these power scaling moments is important, because that actually does matter. That does matter with regards to how do I think about these things, and how do I think about whether or not it's realistic to just overpower Junko and Mukuro or Izuru and force things to work our way. Very unexpected, though, by the way, for Nagito to just pull out a gun here. I still love that. I still think that was great. Because it's just such a simple and obvious solution, right? If you were trying to think of the solution to stop the events of Danganronpa 2 and Ultra Despair Girls and Danganronpa 3, if you were to decide on what's the easiest way to stop all of that from happening, just get a gun and shoot. Have someone get a gun and shoot Junko. There, problem solved. We never have to worry about any of the other issues in any of the other games. Great, we're done. That's all there was to it. And it's just such a simple solution. And in so many shows, people try to find roundabout nonsense to deal with people like Junko, when really no, this is the obvious answer. So I'm glad that was his first. That was basically what he was trying to do. But when he brought up that he wants her to survive it somehow, that was of course the reality check that no, Nagito is not doing this to, well, he's doing this for Hope, but he's not doing this just to kill Junko. He also kind of wants what Junko represents. It's so weird. It's always been so weird and twisted, but that's the way Nagito is, and he's a great character for it. I appreciate that he's always consistent too in his motivation and the way that he goes about expressing his motivations of trying to help Hope by having it overcome bigger and bigger despairs. And I think that's all I got to say about this episode. Things are still going down. Things are still happening. We're still not at the true climax of the series. I don't think things haven't come to a irreversible conclusion yet. Because I feel like there's not that many people who are actually on Junko's side yet. But that's definitely going to change. So, hope you enjoyed watching these 2 episodes. I certainly did. Thanks for watching. See you next time.